Wife left me and the kids for a coworker. I've been lurking here for a while and thought I should introduce myself. I'm a disabled vet and currently unemployed because of the pandemic. I had to stay home while my wife worked. We had just had our son right before COVID went down, so he's 1 now. I cooked, cleaned, did the laundry, I did all the housework without complaint. I took care of our 9 and 1-year-old, making sure school went well, made meals, the whole 9 yards. My ex and I both grew up in troubled homes, so the plan was to be the parent we needed when we were kids. Turns out she had our last kid because she didn't love me anymore. She thought it would reignite something. She starts to work more, which I support. We need money. Things start going bad with COVID and we need to move into my mom's house so we can save money and she doesn't have to work as much. She's had a boyfriend since March. I had a feeling in April or so. By my birthday in May I knew. She didn't even hug me. I never felt so alone. Now, me and the kids are living at my mom's. She's moved in with her boyfriend. It's been almost a month since we've been here. My daughter wants nothing to do with her mom. My son doesn't even ask her for milk or cares when she leaves. They're over the initial loss, I think. But I feel so alone. It feels like when you're walking with someone and you start telling a story, then you turn to look at them and they're gone. It's like that X100. 14 years wasted. All I do is work out. I'm finally under 200 pounds for the first time in years. All I can think is keep moving forward for my kids. Thanks for letting me vent. Redditor's reactions update after. Redditor 1, first off, sorry you have to go through this. Lawyer up, get a separation document drawn up, and get proof of the infidelity. Lots of lawyers are willing to take up the cause of a disabled vet who's been cheated on. Get documentation on the child abandonment. Make sure you are known as the primary caretaker. She will be on the hook for spousal support and for child support. Don't let her sit there and do things on her own schedule. She'll try to bully you. Get ahead of her. Get it done now, soldier. Summarize. 1. Lawyer now 2. Separation agreement 3. Therapy for you and your oldest child. We got your back, brother. Op answer, hoorah. Haven't gotten a lawyer yet, but I have one on standby, I think. My mom is helping with that. I don't have much income at the moment. X was the breadwinner. Love the advice and appreciate the lookout on my 6. Redditor 2, man, I'm sorry for you and the children. Frankly, that woman is a pig. She is neither a faithful wife, nor a good mother. Please consider individual and possibly family counseling for you and the kids. Document everything for your attorney and get that process rolling before she comes out of the affair fog and starts the faux reconciliation bullshit because AP dropped her like a deuce. Documentation of abandonment and strange men will help your case in custody. Take good care of those precious kids. Op answer, thank you. These babies are what's getting me through. I'm trying to be the man my daughter thinks I am. I like the advice for family counseling. We'll definitely look into that. I've been saving screenshots of her GPS movements, because it was shared before, and relationship statuses on Facebook. His status used to say that he was in a relationship with her since March, but I stupidly told her about how it's gonna be hard for her to explain that in court, and now it just says the date they started their relationship instead of her name. I'm building what I can for custody, although I don't make much for income. My mom is very well off and I'm hoping her co-signing me helps my case. X was the breadwinner. Redditor 3, brother, I hate to hear that you are going through this. You deserve so much better. Look at the bright side. If she's left you and the kids, you're one step ahead in the game. File for divorce and full custody as you can show that you are the primary caregiver. Best of luck, bro, and know that there are fellow vets who are pulling for you. Op answer, my goal is full custody. Appreciate the feeling of people having my 6 again. Small update and advice needed. My wife left me and the kids about 2 months ago. Well, I should say that was my D-Day. She left me for a coworker. I was supposed to get a separation agreement and lawyer up. That didn't pan out because of cost. I did start counseling for me and my daughter, so that's good. We're gearing up for school, so I'm having her do some reading and math workbooks to help her transition back to full-time school. What I need advice on is, I'm in a battle with myself. My STBX is in the mental hospital. I assume things dissolved with her AP. With that, she wants to be in the kids' lives more. While this is what I originally wanted, I don't know if it's a good idea. She consistently breaks promises to our daughter. She had the ability to choose an AP over her 9 and 1-year-old, so I don't doubt she wouldn't do the same to them at 10 and 2. My first instinct is to go and support her, but I'm no contact and I'm healing from what's going on. I want her to be well for the sake of the kids, but if I'm included it'll be detrimental to me. I want her to get better, but I don't want to be there. Am I a bad person for this? Update: AP tried to follow me on Facebook. So my ex's AP tried to follow me on Facebook. I immediately blocked him after taking a screenshot. I broke my NC to tell my ex. She couldn't care less, like it wasn't her responsibility to tell him off. I mean, it's not, but I thought she'd agree to do it for me, but I got a whole diatribe about how she's getting better for the kids. Never go off NC, even if something triggers you, learn from my mistake. I was doing so well. It's been a month since last contact. I'm still mad that AP is trying to keep tabs on me, but I could care less about him. My anger stems from the fallout of my ex, and that time bombs like this is making it hard for me to move on. My heart is filled with so much hate and anger toward this woman I thought I'd love forever. Every time she pops into my mind, which is often, I curse her. I'm not like this. I'm not the kind of person to wish ill on anyone, but my ex fills me with so much rage. The hardest part is pretending I'm okay with her in front of my kids. I don't bring her up, but sometimes my daughter does. It takes every ounce of my being not to bash my ex, but I stay as neutral as one can. I'm not going to let AP's action here deter me. He already took my wife, he's not going to take my emotional balance too. They're not good people though, and I just wish they'd leave and my kids alone. Update: how to get over this feeling of being used. Hello all. Been here for a little, in and out lately, trying to focus on day-to-day life. I feel like I've hit a rut. My ex left and I'm raising a 9-year-old and 1-year-old on my own. Time with them is wonderful. My daughter and I do anime night on the weekends. My son and I go on daily walks while his sister is at school. I love being a father for my kids. I just don't have anything for myself. All I do is work out, and the only adult I really talk to is my VA counselor. My focus has been working on my PTSD and raising the kids. My mind just always drifts off into thoughts about my ex. I feel so used. While she was coming up in her company, I did so much for her. I always had her uniform ready, supported her long hours, massaged her feet when she came home. All I feel now is dirty, like I tried so hard but it didn't matter at all. Does this come up for anyone else? How do you cope? Working out and kickboxing has helped, but it feels like a fraction of what I need to heal. I signed up for Match.com, but I'm not even really ready for a relationship. I just thought I should put myself out there. Anyways, I hope you're well. Healing from infidelity isn't easy. Update: thinking about trying to reconcile with my WS. A few days ago my ex told me she was going to KLL herself because our daughter didn't want to talk to her anymore. I think she went all of November not talking to her mother. A few days later the sheriff's deputy calls and tells me I have to turn in my wife's firearm that was registered to her because she isn't allowed to own one. Am I being naive and entertaining trying to reconcile? I unblocked her after she told me about being suicidal, because you should always believe when someone says they have a plan to KLL themselves, and we've been texting since. I can only assume she's still with her boyfriend and she's just using this to get time with the kids. I know I can't take her for her word, so that's where my mind's at. Either way, whether she's with him or not, I would consider taking her back if she broke up now. Under the condition that we continue with our divorce and I have on paper 100% custody of the kids. I've filed my response to her divorce filing and we're waiting to go to court. I also assume she knows she's not going to do well in court, so that weighs heavy on her as well. She says her family doesn't talk to her anymore, which is true. I still talk to a lot of them. She says she wants to quit her job where she met her boyfriend. So I would hope she'd consider getting a job in our city somewhere. We went to a drive-in movie with the kids tonight. Our daughter's therapist said she's afraid she might self-harm. That's the only reason I moved this fast. Both my ex and my daughter were going to self-harm, and my daughter said after the movie, "This is the happiest I've been in a long time, you, me, mama and brother." My 1-year-old is so happy to see his mother again. I'm just numb. I've been doing pretty well on Bumble, nothing really serious but a few I wish I could pursue more seriously, but nobody really wants to be attached to someone with 2 kids FLL time. Not to mention, what if after months of making a real connection with someone, my daughter would reject her, and honestly, I would break up with them if my daughter told me to. My life has been going in the right direction since our breakup. I'm in therapy, I've been regulating my diet. I even do Kung F now. I'm not the same person I was when she left. Am I a fool for considering trying to fix my family? She goes to therapy and takes meds now. I feel like that's a big consideration. I'd want us to go to couples therapy as well. Things are moving so fast. If she's pregnant by this dude and is just trying to get me to raise his baby, I'm out as well. There's just so much going on in my mind. Please help. Another update, thinking about reconciling with WS. I've taken a lot of what you guys say to heart. And I love having your perspective because I feel like you guys understand the trauma. My WS is manipulating me into getting back together. That's what I learned on here. She said she tried to KLL herself 3 times since our separation. She says she has some kind of therapy 3 days a week. 1 one-on-one, and 2 group. She says she's on meds. I haven't talked to her therapist or anything, but I'd guess highly depressive and codependent. She says she plans on leaving her job. She says she wants to get a place close by so she can see the kids more. She says she misses being a family. In my last post, we had just gotten back from a drive-in movie. The kids both miss their mother, of course. Well, she's come by to visit a couple times since then. My daughter is so happy. She's the reason I broke NC. The school therapist told me she's afraid my daughter might self-harm. Issues stemming from her mother's abandonment. My son is happy too. I miss her, I miss our family unit. But it really never is going to be the same. I guess because I've been with her since she was 18 and miss when she was obsessed with me. She asked to take me out on a date. I agreed because she's trying. But I know I'm not ready. And I swear on my children I will not have time with her. I'd want a paternity test and an STD panel done first. I'm not going to be tricked into raising someone else's kid. I told her I'd agree to reconcile if we still got a divorce and I get 100% custody. I think that's my main focus at this point. The 100% custody. That way if she is still with AP and the drama comes out, I have 100% and she can move on. I've also kept up with my dating apps. I won't get rid of them until I know for certain she doesn't have anyone else. In fact, I matched with a 22-yo yesterday. No reason I should be happy, but it was a nice ego boost. I usually swipe right on people way out of my league. So yeah, I know a lot of you have been through this. I know it doesn't work out for the most part. I've got to try for my kids though. I'm still, just really confused. When she says she's been miserable since our separation, all I can think is, you weren't miserable when you were cheating on me and leaving me and this kids for AP. If I were a younger man, I think I'd respond with more anger. Nowadays I think to myself, how would my father handle this situation? And I do the opposite. That's why I'm considering this reconciliation. I have hope that it works out, but I really just don't know. Thanks for letting me vent. Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1, just because we have been together since I was 18, sounds familiar. My girl and I got together when I was 18. Sweet. When I was 24 she cheated on me. I kept her. We went on. Now I turned 34 and I caught her with a married man that was 7 years younger than her. Well, we have been together since I was 18. Stick together. I turned 43 and give a guess what? Yep. Cheating again. She married him this time. She is his problem now. I'm 51 and single. Feel lonely but good. Hope you don't follow in my shoes. Good luck. Redditor 2, there's a lot going on here. But from what I see in your story, she had a second child because she didn't love you. Do you really think that is going to magically change? She doesn't miss you. She misses her kids. She regrets becoming the person she said she wouldn't after her own childhood trauma. She's willing to pretend to love you to gain access to her children. But don't go down that path. It only ends in more heartache. Children need their mother, if healthy. The only thing you owe her is to check on her and see if she's mentally and physically healthy enough to be a mother. That is what I would date her to do. To figure out what a healthy co-parenting relationship looks like moving forward. Because regardless of her actions, if she's healthy, then it's far more valuable for her to be in her kids' lives than not. So don't let your blind anger make foolish decisions to block her if she's making the right steps. And don't let your blind judgment take back someone who doesn't want to be with you. Make the right steps to project the children but provide a healthy environment around them like they need. Redditor follow-up, she's willing to pretend to love you to gain access to her children. Sadly, this is raw, unfiltered truth right here. Redditor 3, do what you're gonna do, but please get off the dating apps then. Do not match and meet with people who think you are single and looking to meet new people. That's not fair to them. You're using other people at this point because you don't know if it's going to work out with your ex. Be better than that. Figure out what you want before dating. Op answer, you're right. I just feel like we haven't started the reconciliation yet. And if I get rid of the dating apps now, I'll have nobody to talk to. Maybe I change my bio and say I'm not looking for something serious? I get what you're saying though. I promise I'm not breaking any hearts on there, just matching, flirting, and getting ego boosts. Redditor 4, I've got to try for my kids though. Kid of divorce here, from a father who cheated on my mother. Please do not blame your kids or any kids for the foolish decision to stay with someone who obviously doesn't want to stay. If you stay, it's because that's your decision. Don't make it about your children. When I was a teenager and my parents were divorcing, I was grateful to them for having some common sense and separating. It was the marriage that did the damage. My mother had zero self-respect, and my father had zero morals. It was an embarrassing time for all to see my dad repeatedly cheat on my mother, and my mother had so little self-respect that she stayed. I lost respect for them both. When the divorce was done, both me and my brother were relieved. So do not stay for the kids. They probably won't thank you once they know the truth. They'll lose respect for you, too. Sounds like she wants to get access to your money, resources, and comfort. The other guy probably had the common sense to dump her completely and throw her away, or for all you know, she cheated on him, too. But she didn't suddenly re-love you. It's very likely any reconciliation will be temporary until she can find another sucker willing to house her. So basically your children's lives depend on a mother who already abandoned them. And now the whole cycle starts all over again? Stop thinking about this person and start thinking about the damage this is doing to your children. Now you've opened the door to mom abandoning them a second time. This has got to stop. Op answer, I understand. Know that I've learned to love myself and have the utmost respect for myself, more so than I have before. And as far as, for the kids, it's not just for them. I miss my wife. My daughter's therapist said she was afraid my daughter might self-harm. It because of the issues with her mother. My ex might have crushed me and turned my heart into dust, but that same heart feels overwhelming love for his children. I have to let her try and be a better person. Nobody can get better if we don't give them a chance. If she strays again, I'll have 100% custody at that point and a post-nup. Future me is set. I appreciate you advice nonetheless. Redditor 5, given she's abandoned you and the kids for her AP, and she's threatened self-harm to manipulate you, I'd steer clear. Maybe hold out or as bait to get her to agree to giving up 100% custody. But from your story, your WW has clearly demonstrated she's not trustworthy. She was given the choice of her family or her AP, she chose her AP. She didn't care how it harmed you or the kids. Your kids want their mommy they saw in the trip to the drive-in movie. But that's not who she is. Who she truly is betrayed you and the kids. Given she comes back, the kids will be exposed to the betrayer, not the one who was playing nice at the movie. The woman who is asking to R is the one who turned her back on her husband, her marriage vows, and her children. The only thing you should be working on is a co-parenting plan. Op answer, that's my move at this point. I play her game until I get 100%. I don't trust her. But I'm willing to try and really reconcile for the kids. My only concern is if she doesn't put in the effort to getting better and further traumatizes the kids.